Boom shakalaka, what is going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and I am joined by Long Vuong, the founder of Tomochain. What's going on, Long?
Hi, Randall. It's nice to be here. Thanks
Yes.
for interviewing me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. I've seen Tomochain has been doing a lot recently on, all over the place on CoinMarketCap, but getting close to the top 100, which is pretty exciting. So to begin with, we're going to get into some updates with Tomochain in a little bit. But to begin with, for people who may not have heard of Tomochain, what is Tomochain?
So essentially, Tomochain is a new public chain with a smart contract capability. And the strength of Tomochain is in its very short block time, only 2 seconds. And we can do up to 1,000 transactions per second, but still keeping it very decentralized with 150 masternodes and more than 1,500 voters currently running live right now.
Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned a lot of things. So first is that it's EVM compatible. So basically people who were programming on Ethereum could switch over to Tomochain pretty easily, right?
That's correct. So that's actually a really good thing for Tomochain because we can use some of the very good tools in Ethereum ecosystem like MetaMask and Truffle. And most of the developers we talk with, there is no issue of trying on Tomochain after familiar with Ethereum.
Mm-hmm. And then also you mentioned 150 masternodes. So tell us a bit about the masternodes and how those work.
So the differentiating feature about Tomochain is our own consensus, POSV. POSV is a proof of stake voting. It's powered by 150 masternodes who can create a new block and validate the block. And we have a game theoretic modeling built-in. So when you have 50,000 Tomo, you can initiate a masternode candidate. And then the token holder can vote for you. And then the top 150 Tomo masternode candidate become the actual masternode. And that happens every epoch. That lasts about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, do you know how many masternodes you have right now?
So we launched the mainnet in December. We bootstrap with 5 masternodes, and then now it's a full capacity of 150 masternodes. We actually have an extra of 10 masternode candidate waiting.
Okay, and it's only the top 150 that actually get the block rewards, right?
Yes. So the 150 is actually built in the system, and it's fixed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned very high throughput, 1,000 TPS. You mentioned 2-second confirmation times. Also near zero fees for transactions. Are these all due to your consensus algorithm, the POSV, or how are you able to achieve all of these?
So I think the main difference between Tomochain and Ethereum is our own consensus, right? And of course, if our own consensus, we need to do a lot of state management differently, right? So that's in terms of the coding, that's a different. I think your question is like what's the difference about the masternode, right?
Almost. So, like for instance, Ethereum only has double-digit transactions per second, longer confirmation times. How are you able to do so much better than them? Yeah.
So I think Ethereum right now is doing a proof of work, right? So every node, and I think there are like 15,000 full node for Ethereum, and they are all running and competing to create new block, and they have to hash, they have to hash a number, and they got the right number. Then they have the chance to create block. I think for us, the consensus, the POSV consensus means that each masternode take turn to create block, And there is a second randomly chosen masternode to verify the next block and attach to the chain. So it's actually very efficient process. And because every epoch, right, the set of the masternode, the order, the masternode can create block as randomized. So that's, and we have the built-in like double validation. Not just one masternode create block, but the second masternode verifies that the first masternode actually doing the correct way before attaching the new block into the chain. So I think it's actually fairly different from what what is in the Ethereum in terms of the consensus algorithm. And I think that's the main difference, right? That's the main difference. And now we can go up to actually like 1,000 or 1,500 transactions per second. And earlier, after we launched the mainnet, we got a severe spam attack. And the network actually reached about like 2,000 transactions per block, and each block is 2 seconds. So we already surpassed 1,000 transactions per second, and that in a relatively short amount of time.
Great, great. So one thing with the near zero fees. So are those going to change when the adoption of Tomochain grows? Like for instance, if the fees were very inexpensive on Ethereum when not many people use it, but you know, last year in December, January, when CryptoKitties came out and everybody was using it, it was not only slow, but also fees were very expensive if you wanted anything to go through. Are there going to be changes with the near zero fees depending upon how many people are using the Tomochain ecosystem?
Actually, right, the fee, the fee setup in Tomochain is somewhat similar to Ethereum in a way that we currently set the default fee for Tomochain is 0.25 ZY. Meanwhile, in Ethereum, it set minimum at 1 ZY. So it's for Tomochain, the default is 1/4 of Ethereum in terms of ZY. Of course, you know, if you send a transaction, normal transaction on Ethereum, it generally takes you like 20 ZY. So I think in the real term, in the real like US dollar term, Tomochain right now, if you use Tomochain, it with one Tomo, right? You can send like maybe send about 200,000 transactions. So it's very cheap. It's currently with the capacity of Ethereum network, it's also relatively cheap, right? But I think the most important point when we compare fee between Tomochain and Ethereum is Tomochain actually can process, I think, more than 100 times the capacity of Ethereum blockchain, because we're doing like 1,000 transactions per second. Meanwhile, Ethereum is doing like 15 transactions per second. So it actually like around 40 times. So I think the difference in the capacity to process transaction makes the fee in Tomochain cheaper. It's not like artificial process. For example, like in EOS, right, the gas is always set at 0. But in Tomochain, there is still a gas, a minimum fee you have to pay. Even though, right, it's very small. For one Tomo, which is less than $1, you can send 200,000 transactions. So basically, it's very close to 0.
Yeah, that's very close to 0. Yeah. All right, so just recently, you released Tomochain Client 1.3. There's a lot of talk about Tomochain Client 2.0. So what is that? And you know, do you have any ideas to when that's coming out?
So we just released Client 1.3, and we think that's like 1.3 is a very mature client. It can be very stable and secure for enterprise and business. It actually build project on it comfortably, right? And be happy with 1.3 version. We still have 1.4, the next upgrade in, I think, 1 month or so. But the next big major milestone for us is a 2.0 client. which include Tomo X protocol, which is a decentralized exchange protocol on Tomochain, with a fully decentralized order book and matching engine, which is quite new because no blockchain have done it before, as I know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. And one thing that you talk about a lot is open finance. So
Mm-hmm.
what exactly do you mean by open finance, and why is that important?
I think there's, people actually are talking quite a bit about open finance, or in other words, decentralized finance or permissionless finance. So basically, the three terms are meaning the same thing in terms of crypto industry, right? And I think open finance is idea that you can actually access a financial system that is global, permissionless. You don't need to ask for, a bank or, API to actually build something. I think this mean a lot both to developer and to end user. For developer, I think so, from my point of view, right, I'm project builder and I'm a developer too. I feel like working in fintech, traditional fintech, it takes a lot of friction, right? When you want to, for example, build a fintech D app, you need to actually ask for API from a bank. So you can accept the bank account or the account of user. It's not available openly, right? And it's take a lot of friction, and when you try to build something new, it actually like you have to go to a door that is kept by a lot of traditional player. So for open permissionless finance or open finance, there is a blockchain, public blockchain. You can download the whole public blockchain. You have all the data. If you build something valuable and important to user, you can build it right away from your laptop and publish in GitHub, right? And if user like it, they can use it right away. I think Tomo is one of the things like this, right? We build the protocol, and some project or developer out there, they're going to build a relayer on top of Tomo X, and the user can access it right away, right? And very easy, no friction at all. So I think that's for developer, right? And of course, for end user, right? If you don't have the bank account, if you are one of the 2 billion unbanked, right? I think the open finance brings something totally different to the table. And even if you are very rich, you already have a bank account, you have a lot of access to bank, there is a matter of, you can control your own like financial asset in your hands, instead of you have to use custody or someone have to keep it for you. So I think open finance is a new paradigm, and I think that I think is the most important thing about public blockchain.
Mm-hmm. Great. So you talk about how you're building out a gaming ecosystem, and I noticed that gaming is kind of somewhat popular in the blockchain, probably because a lot of people love to play games. So how are you building out this gaming ecosystem?
Mm-hmm. So I think there are several aspects from gaming, like ownership of digital item and trading item, and building stuff, digital stuff in the open world that is not controlled by a corporate or a single entity. These are some of very attraction of blockchain gaming. And I think from where we are staying, we are very close with developer from Southeast Asia. We try to talk with gaming and blockchain developer and showing that, you can build a different kind of game on blockchain. It will be different from traditional gaming, but there are users, there are funding to support you if you build something interesting. That's what we want to do in 2019.
Mm-hmm. I noticed you already have at least one game out there. How do you have a plan for getting adoption of these games? How are people going to find out about these games?
I think it's currently the strength of gaming on Tomochain is that the blockchain is very efficient. So when you interact with Tomochain, it takes only 2 seconds. You know, when you play a game, you do something, it takes only 2 seconds. You have the feedback. Comparing to Ethereum, it takes you like 10, 12 seconds. And, you know, with gaming, you know, just 10 seconds is actually quite a long time to get feedback from your activity. So one thing we hope that's when a lot of game on Ethereum moving to Tomochain, right? They will see the different right away because the user experience will be much better, right? And we also talk with some of the new project to build some new thing on Tomochain. One of them is HC Infinity, right? They already build a community and a game on Ethereum, and now they port some aspect of the game on Tomochain as well. So I'm very excited to see, you know, how it's developing in 2019.
Mm-hmm. Great. Let's see. So, anything else that you'd like to mention about Tomo 2.0 or the Tomo ecosystem?
I think there's a lot of talk and a lot of discussion about the usefulness of blockchain, public blockchain in 2018, right? We also have pretty bad bear market in 2018. That caused a lot of doubt in a lot of people, right? But I think the most important area that's public blockchain when disrupt is finance. That's the so-called Internet of Finance, I think. And it is going to happen in the next few years, and 2009, 2020. And I think Tomochain is leading the way in capitalize the next Internet of Finance.
Great, great. So, so what plans do you have for the future of Tomochain?
So, in the update, right, we mentioned that 2019 we focus our attention, we focus our work on building Tomochain 2.0, which is Tomochain for crypto finance, open finance, and we hope to be able to complete all the key financial product in 2019. For example, Tomo X, Tomo Swap, maybe algorithmic stablecoin, and after that, I think after 2.0, we still expand Tomochain further to deal with capitalized scalability issue, privacy issue. So I think it will take maybe 5 years for the infrastructure of blockchain, a public blockchain, to be completed, and we're ready to go on the way.
Awesome. Well, Long, thanks very much for taking the time to talk with us about Tomochain today. For anyone who wants to find out more information or get more involved with Tomochain, how would you recommend they find you?
Our website is tomochain.com, right? Please go to our website and you can see a lot of information about our gaming initiative, our white paper, crypto finance that we are talking about. And you can also join our Telegram channel. We have a very wonderful community that is very open to answer any questions you have.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, Long, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Randa.